Another item.
Yep, another item. Thank you, sir. I'd like to speak to item 4 on the Planning Committee report that is before members of council. This is a development application by Vrancor seeking permission to for 2 additional stories and a hotel that is being that is constructed basically at the corner of Queen Street North and King Street West in the Strathcona neighborhood of Ward 1. I will be voting as the ward councillor to deny the application. The history of this application, from where it came from to how we got here today, has been described by the engaged neighbors as a bait and switch, and one which the planning goalpost kept moving over the years. And I have a serious concern over that because I believe it undermines the credibility of our planning process at a time when we need it most, when we're seeking to intensify our land use and add density throughout our urban area. For members who are not on the committee, just a short bit of background. The applicant owns the entire parcel, which spans from Queen to the backyards of Ray Street North, and received approvals to build a 6-story multi-residential building and a 6-story and then now 10-story hotel. The applicant is also seeking to add an additional 19 stories to that multi-residential and now another 2 stories to the hotel. Last December, the applicant decided to split the application in half and submit the hotel application as phase 1 and the proposed 25-story multi-res as phase 2. The entire footprint is also hosting 2-story townhouses along Market Street, which would be the northern edge of this parcel. For your information, the applicant also owns the empty parking lot immediately north of this site and intends to develop that as well, as far as I know, with multi-residential buildings. The design review panel encouraged the developer to offer an integrated plan for both sites with strong connections, pedestrian and otherwise, to the Strathcona neighborhood. That was not done. And now the developer is seeking to divide up our view of the parcel again. I suppose it is his right to do so, but in my opinion, does not serve the neighborhood well, does not serve the plan well, does not serve the parcel well. Secondly, in my opinion, there's no planning justification for an additional 2 stories. Certainly there's an economic one for the applicant, more revenues for a hotel operation that has its headquarters outside the city, but there's no planning reason. This is not an affordable housing application. There's no overall benefit to be derived from the 2 additional stories, and what has been described by residents and other architects as underwhelming architecture, unremarkable, and maybe one that's best suited for near Pearson Airport or along the 403, but not one situated in the gateway to our downtown. And it's not in keeping with the urban design guidelines, in my opinion, that were set out for this site not too long ago. As I stated in last week's planning committee, I have yet to vote against a development application in Ward 1. I believe in the process that part of the deal is that when we conclude a planning matter, when it's done, our residents can go away feeling like they've been heard, and what got their certainty about what got approved. And this has been one big exercise in uncertainty. The process used in getting here for the site and the entire site has failed this neighborhood because the process is the principle. Our citizens depend on us to ensure that they are treated fairly when they have limited resources and recourses, and when the deck is stacked against them. And finally, Mr. Mayor, it's my strong belief that the city needs to start demanding better design than what it's been getting. And good enough is just not good enough for this city. So I will be voting against this proposal. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments on item 4 in the planning report? Okay, so we can give you the opportunity to register. Everyone can register their vote. So we'll go to that item 4, and please indicate yea or nay. We'll allow Madam Clerk to the clerks to dial up that vote. I'm sure they weren't quite ready for that, but thank you. And Madam Clerk,
And that carries 9-6.
thank you. We're going to turn to Councillor